to be?
Yeah, great. Where would be a safe place to do it?
Once we go underneath this bridge, and it opens up a bit, and then you can go,
Yeah, so we're going to stop on the left or the right, on the side of the run. Make sure you stay that safety in, yeah? Because we're not in the carpet anymore. Carpets...
Or go down woodcutter on the left is usually empty.
Yeah, we can do woodcutter. Why don't we do that? Yeah. We'll go woodcutter on the left. We're going to stop where I stop.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Cool.
Simples? We haven't gone through the how yet.
Yeah.
Traverse?
Yeah,
from a
sure.
beginner turn? Yeah, go on.
From a beginner turn, so this is from a beginner level 1 standpoint, okay.
Yeah.
So
vanilla as you like really simple.
okay, so we've done the what, which is the like we're going to be crossing across the hill. Yeah. We're going to use this to link turns from toe side to hill side as well.
Sure. Yeah.
And get around. Yeah. It's probably easiest to start on the toes, I think.
Okay.
And you're going to cut across the hill.
Yeah.
Is it a carve or is it a drift?
It's a traverse. It's a traverse. It's not a carve or a drift. So a traverse is getting from A to B. Whether you carve or whether you drift over there, it sort of depends on the terrain a little bit, right? Like I'm just going to stand on my edge and go across the slope. That's probably how I would do it. Mm-hmm. Maybe talk a bit about the belly button as well, because when we're doing beginner turns, we're kind of using our hips to like drift around, like changing edges. Yeah. I would probably say something like, I'd be like, okay, so we've learned how to turn. What we're going to do is at the end of our turn, doesn't matter if it's toes or heels, we're going to like stop rotating our belly button around until we're happy that the board is pointing across the slope, the nose of the board is pointing across the slope, and we're just going to stand on the edge that we're on and go across.
Yeah.
Kind of traverse, isn't it? And we're just going to point the board across the slope, stand on the edge that we're on, and take us across.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Dane told me to be super simple with you guys, so I'm just
Did you think we're idiots?
No, because it really isn't.
Would you not just draw it so like before they've been going like this?
Yeah.
And then you just go, well, here's your turn, and then you have a really long bit before you start your next time.
Yeah, I think.
And that bit is the traverse.
So perfect, right? Adding something to it. Good for your visual learners, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever you think is necessary, but explaining the how with a little drawing is very good for visual people. Yeah. So I'll just show you what it meant, which is before we were kind of doing this, and you notice I'm using my whole glove because a beginner turn's a bit more of a smudge than a fine line. Yeah. Okay. Before we were kind of doing this, right? And we were sort of going mostly down the hill. But we want to get from A to B. I want to go see my friend over here. Yeah. So now we're going to turn, and at the end of that turn, we're just going to point our nose of our snowboard across the slope, stand on the edge, and get to where we want to go. So at the end of that turn, and when we've traversed across the slope, and we've got to the other side, we're going to want to do another turn, and then we're going to point the nose of our snowboard back across the hill, and get from A to B here, and sort of repeat that the whole way down the slope. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
Yeah.
Let's just do like a couple. We don't need to do this to death. You guys know how to do a traverse, right? As far as this, carve versus non-carve thing, just stand on your no overperforming for beginners, right? You can drift a little bit.
When you demo it, would you try and, if I'm on my hillside, would I point the board slightly down so there's a bit of an angle to show them sort of like this, or more like
that's maybe
that?
A finer point for like dangerous answer, but for the most part, just get across the hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
No mega performance, no like big edge.
Cool.
Something a bit like this, right? So so you do a turn.
Take it for
A bit of a slide. Yeah, something like that. A bit more speed.
He's bored out of his mind, isn't he? But I guess we have to learn it, right?
So feedback from actual beginners who teach pretty common that people like just start looking uphill. It's always easier. Your body generally follows your head.
Yeah.
You're driving a car and you look to the right, where does the car start going? So you want to project your body across the slope. Look where you're going. Look at the trees, right? That's a good bit of feedback here. Is rather than looking, we were mostly kind of looking down before, we're actually now looking across. Yeah. So that's some actual feedback that you might give somebody. Some feedback that I'm probably going to give you is that on that toe side, to make this, we want to use the whole of the edge of the snowboard to get us across the slope. So weight 50-50 on both feet. Yeah. A little bit like this. Yeah. Loads of grip the whole way along the edge. Help you get across the slope. Yeah. Good feedback there, right? So a couple of little bits. Yours was about right speed-wise and a little bit of a drift, a little bit fast. I think your thing is going to be detuning a little bit. You probably got told that already, right? Yeah. So for beginners, you just have to, like, a beginner might come across that quickly if they're like really gutsy, but for the most part, they're probably going to struggle to make it. With the traverse here, with beginners, it would be like, oh, actually, you're probably going to have to, you might not get straight across here because it's slightly uphill, there's like a lump. So you might have to actually use a bit more. What's one of the beginner stuff where you point the board down the hill? Like a J-turn or something?
Free running? Free run?
Free run?
Straight running.
Straight running?
The garland.
Garland, that's a good one, right? So you might want to use like a piece of that, and we're assuming we've already taught them all this stuff.
Yeah.
So actually, to get going here, you might want to do a little garland to get back on your toe edge, to get the speed to then traverse over that lump, because if you just aim straight at it, you might not make it up there. So using these tools to get you around the slope is quite good. Yeah. So a little kind of garland here. We'll see, right? Do I get across? No, I didn't. Do I actually need more speed, right?
Beautiful weather.
Yeah. No.
Fucking love snow. So good.
If I point my nose straight across, I'm not going to go anywhere, right? If I point my nose down a little bit to start off with and then point it across, I'm going to win. Experience things are just something there, right? What's the next? I'm probably not going to get you guys to teach that one because I thought it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could regurgitate that one, probably.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next thing? Do you know what the next thing was? You're gonna, yeah, Kieran's got it. What is it?
So adding up and down movement on the board.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna check mine.
Playing with the centre of mass.
Playing with the center, is that what it's called?
It says COM in brackets, and then it says, fuck, I forgot.
Come on.
Letting the team down, Kieran.
You know, there's more than one person who can teach them.
Yeah. Come on.
I'm just the person that's read the book, that's all.
I have it right here somewhere.
No, I meant the 200-page book.
Yeah, me too,
That's a
Kieran.
little
I've
book.
got every single
That's more of a
page.
pamphlet.
Actually completed it.
There's no point in reading it.
So I think it's adding the traverse, and then in brackets it's centre of mass, and
Traverse,
it's
reflection, slash.
that's it, flexion and extension.
So at this stage,
But a beginner, you'd say up
we're
and
gonna
down.
do you think using flexion and extension is great for like beginner students? Yeah, using that wording is not great.
No, just say up
Hey,
and down.
you know what, guys? A little bit of a challenge here. See you do that traverse really well now, and we can get from A to B. What we're going to try and do is to try and move a little bit up and down as we go across the slope. Bit of a challenge for you guys. To do this, we're going to think about using like basically just lowering our hips over the snowboard. Like maybe you think about this being 10 being our tallest and like 1 being our lowest. We're probably just going to move from like a 9 to a 7 and then back up. Yeah?
Could you say, as an example, in the exam, imagine we're indoors
Yeah.
and the roof is caved in the middle,
Okay.
and in order to get across, you have to obviously get lower
Great.
to get to
I
that
like
point.
that. Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
good. So lowering the ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm waffling a little bit. Let's just do it from start to finish. What, why, how? So what is it? It's a traverse while going up and down on the
Yeah.
edge that we're on. Okay. Why are we doing it? It's fun and it challenges us. Yeah. And we learn how to. It helps us do cool stuff later, like jumps and tricks and stuff. Yeah. Where are we doing it? Well, we're doing it right here. It's a nice quiet run. And how do we do it? Well, I like your analogy there. It's really good.
Yeah.
So you can be either really specific or you can use a really easy analogy. And a good analogy there is, yeah, as we go across, you know, we're going to imagine that the ceiling is going to like lower, like in the middle. So we're going to have to get a bit lower, and then you know, we've got more room as we come up the turn. Whatever way you want to talk about it, it's fine. I would probably use. I'd be like, yeah, think about like this is like 10 our tallest. We kind of like sit at a 9 normally. As we go across, we're going to use our ankles, knees, a little bit of our hips to get from like a 9 down to like a 7, and then back up to a 9 again. And we're going to try and do this a couple of times, 2-3 times as we go across. Going to make a turn, going to do this back the other way. So we'll be doing this both on toes and heels, following that front foot in the direction of travel. Sound good to you guys? Cool. Is that pretty simple?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do it in regular. Why don't you guys just follow me?
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously you're going to move a little bit out of shape as you go up and down, that's fine. But we don't want to be rotationally in a weird spot that affects us going up and down. Yeah? So if I'm going up and down like this, I'd be like, hey, it's easier to balance on your edge if we come down if you're a bit more like this. Yeah? Again, like I'm looking across the slope. That helps. Do the face here. Do you guys like to team up and want to do the other one and want to compete me in? Yeah? Just run through that one really quickly. Yeah. Is that alright?
Okay, Kieran, I shall teach you everything I know.
Teach me.
Okay, focusing on what, why, how, where, why.
What, why, how?
That kind
Safety.
of not picking that order, but just whatever way works for you.
Okay, so we've just done our traversing across. We're going to practice that, but we'll be going up and down through that movement, okay? So the reason why we're doing this is to work on our mobility, which will come in handy later when the terrain gets a bit bumpy.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we're going to pretend that we're inside and there's a ceiling and it dips in the middle, so we're going to have to duck underneath it and you can stand back
I
up.
can hear police sirens. It's as if I've just witnessed a robbery. Yeah, no, I like it. No, it's good.
I'll come up with another example.
No,
later.
I said it for the group so everyone could have it. That's the idea.
Okay, so
Cool. All right. Yeah.
I'm going to do one turn on my toe. I'm going to go across, traverse my toes,
Yeah.
going up, going down, up, down, up, and then I'm going to come back onto my heels and do it again. And we'll probably stop by, you see that big orange thing?
Yeah, that
We
sounds
stop
good.
around there, okay.
Okay.
And we're doing it here because it's a nice, nice slope and it's quite quiet.
Look up the hill before we go.
And look up the hill before you go.
Cool. Show me.
Playing around a little bit with our body position on the board as we traverse across the hill. Right. So I just want you to watch me as I demonstrate. And the things I want you to look out for is how high and low I'm going to be. So I'm up here right now, that's maybe a 10. Maybe I'd be, my normal riding position would be about here. I get down to about here, okay. Not too much further than that.
Good job!
Oh,
How did that feel?
oh, it's so good.
Yeah?
I can't wait to do 360s.
Yeah, you'll be there in no time with that extension and flexion.
Oh yeah. No, it's good. That's very good. Oh, I like snow. It's so good.
I like snow.
I don't like it that much.